So, over the last couple of days, I have been watching a lot of people's collection videos on their movies online for some reason. It's just a way to kill time. There's nothing else for me to watch. There's no TV shows, no new movies or anything. And I've also been doing the, quote, road to endgame, unquote, or hashtag road to endgame, where you show what versions of the films you have on Instagram, and you review it at the same time, telling what you thought. Well, the next one coming up is Spider-Man Homecoming. And with the me also thinking about doing collection videos of my own, once I get a better camera, obviously, the thought mind came up about the realization that I was like massively addicted to steelbooks for the longest time. I was spending $20, $30, $40 a pop buying films, even if I didn't like the movie, even if I never watched it. Like, I opened it, put the digital copy in my Vudu account, or I used the Disney points or whatever, but I've never watched the disc. I've never even taken the disc out of the case. Some of them are still in their plastic, which is why on Art of the Steal you'll see me open up older ones. And in 2017, that all ended because of two films: Spider-Man Homecoming and Logan. Spider-Man Homecoming, I literally fell asleep during it. This should be old news to anybody who has heard my other Marvel videos, but this film, I fell asleep for the new people. When Peter was stuck in a warehouse talking to the robot in his suit, I woke up when he was on an airplane. Some like stealth airplane thing. And I had never watched the movie since. This is a Marvel film, the last one I saw in theaters, and it's the one I walked out as soon as the credits started rolling. I did not care. I wanted to go. I did not want to be there in the first place. Logan. Well, this is my review of Logan. Raw blood, Spanish girl. Raw blood, death. It's gratuitous violence, pointless garbage that basically threw out the ending of Days of Future Past, where, hey, everybody, the X-Men finally get peace, something they've well deserved after all the shit they've done. And nope, they died 4 years later because Professor X had a seizure. And I was actually looking forward to Logan. I really loved Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. Even though I hated the Wolverine, I'm one of the few people that actually liked Origins, just because I don't give a shit about Deadpool. It was a popcorn action flick. Turn your mind off, watch a movie for a little bit, enjoy yourself. But Logan, ugh. But it is one of the few comic book movies that one of my parents went with me to go see, and that my dad actually enjoyed. He said he actually liked this movie, but I thought it was garbage. The only reason I own it is because in case he ever wanted to watch it again, I would never watch it again. It's like those idiots that do the honest trailers. They used to have their own company, some big, huge company that are trying to make into a multimedia thing. Had their own website, which closed down in a year. They're always putting shit on the Jurassic Park franchise because only the first one was good, and they hate Lost World, 3, Jurassic World, and Fallen Kingdom. And one of the things they're always saying is, oh, I can't name any of those characters. They're all forgettable. Okay, let's go off the Lost World. You got Ian Malcolm, duh. Kelly, the little girl. Sarah, girlfriend. Nick Van Owen, the photographer. And not Robert Muldoon, that's the original Hunter. Okay, I got 4. Oh, 5, sorry. Yeah, no, it's 4 because I put my pinky up, sorry. Jurassic Park 3, Alan Grant, duh. Eric Kirby, Mr. and Mrs. Kirby. Judexky, the bald guy who was killed, who was the guy who beat Buddy in Air Bud. Billy. Okay, that's 6. Jurassic World. Obviously, Owen, Blue the dinosaur, Claire, Zach, Gray. 5. Oh, and Henry Wu, Mr. Masrani. Okay, so that's 7. Fallen Kingdom. Obviously, Owen and Claire return, and Blue. Ziva, the lesbian vet who takes care of dinosaurs. And obviously, Dr. Wu returns. 5. Logan. Logan, obviously, from the name, for the movie, so that shouldn't really count. So half. Charles. And the only reason I know X-23 is because all these morons kept talking about how great she did in the movie. How great of a character it was. So, 2.5. And yet, no memorable characters. The Jurassic films have more memorable characters than this garbage does. And yet they're always saying how the movies are garbage because you can't remember any of the characters. And I know the movie's plot. He tries to hide Charles out in the desert because he's having brain seizures. And he decides that he's trying to earn money to buy a boat so he can take Charles out to sea. Well, never bother with a living soul ever again. Should have just killed him, obviously, put him out of misery. And because he did that to Gene, the person he loved, why would he do that to an old guy? And then he randomly gets involved with some lady who says that the little girl is like a mutant like him, and it's like some kind of weird cross-off of Stryker's project, even though Stryker died in X2, so shouldn't his project have died. But other than that, and then a bunch of little mutant kids are all being made, and then some guy with a robotic arm is chasing him and wants to kill him, and then they pull out some kind of clone of Wolverine who's younger than him, and who's just the anger of him, not the personality. And that young one kills the old one, and the little girl kills the young one, and then he dies, and they walk off to Mexico. I can go into more detail about any of the Jurassic Park films than that piece of garbage. Why? Because you have to be a fan of something to enjoy it. You have to be a fan of something to pay attention to it. But the dumbasses, the screen junkies, never got that. So that's why it pisses me off. That's why it pissed me off, that one. Sorry for a little rant. But for a while there, I was buying every movie, even if it was a D, and I was trying to be a completist. So I had both Homecoming and Logan pre-ordered at Best Buy. And then I looked at my shelf, looked at all the money I was going to be wasting, and I figured I could still be a completist and get these things on Black Friday for like $5, which I did eventually. And I'm not completing a completist as a steelbook collector, but I'm a completist as a movie one now. And I had these 2 films to thank. Well, not in The Last Jedi, but that was later. But these films made me realize that you don't need to own something. You don't need to own a nice version of something that you don't like and you're never going to watch. So they helped cure my addiction to steelbooks. Now, I will still buy movies I don't like and that if I find them at like Goodwill. Like I found an unopened UK edition in South Florida, in the United States of America, North America, copy of Fast and the Furious 6 as a steelbook. $1.99. I grabbed it. At Big Lots, I found a movie I'd never heard of in a steelbook for $2. I grabbed it. If I can find a steelbook for a movie that's under $5, I'll still grab it at that point, even if I don't know the movie. But now I actually look and see, okay, do I actually like that movie? Do I actually like that franchise? Like I enjoyed Fallen Kingdom in the theaters, but I don't like it. I haven't watched it since, so I think I probably don't actually like the film. But I still bought the steelbook. I actually bought 2 of them because I like the franchise, and I like the way the second one looked. The first one, it was just because my addiction thing was still going through, and I had all the other Jurassic Park films in steelbook. My addiction wasn't as strong when World came out because that was last year, but still. And also, I said I enjoyed it in the theaters, but it's been almost a year and I haven't rewatched it. And also, I just need another video to fill a spot. So, thanks for listening. If you like these films, remember, this is just my opinion. And if you've seen any of my stuff, you'd realize I'm not a Marvel fan to begin with. I used to be a huge one. Like, I loved the cartoons from the 90s, Spider-Man, X-Men, Hulk, Iron Man. I extremely loved Earth's Mightiest Heroes, the cartoon that was on Disney XD. Spider-Man trilogy is my favorite trilogy of all time, the Sam Raimi one, and I'm one of the few people that actually likes the Spider-Man 3. I like the Daredevil and the first Ghost Rider movie and the 2 Fantastic Four films that were made by Fox. I didn't see either of the Amazing Spider films in theaters, but when I watched them at home, I liked them. I haven't watched them since, but I still liked them enough that I bought them on Black Friday when I saw them. And I was huge into the comics. I have boxes and boxes of Marvel ones. And I was a fan. I was a fan of the MCU, and I was like trying to trick myself into thinking I still like it, even when I started not liking it. It's like even the first Avengers movie, I was trying to talk myself into liking it, because if I was admitted to myself, it's like a B. I was saying it's an A, greatest movie ever made, and it's like a B. First act, nothing really happens. Yeah, Loki comes in and mind controls Hawkeye and Selvig, and then disappears with the 2. Then Iron Man 3 came in, and Age of Ultron, and Dark World, which I'm one of the few people that kind of liked Dark World, although I didn't see it in the theaters. That's probably why. Because a lot of times with movies, if I don't see them in theaters, I'll like them a little better because I didn't pay for it. I didn't pay that much for it, I should say. It's like, I paid $1 to see Dark World. I paid nothing to see Ragnarok. But I paid $15 to watch Volume 2 of Guardians of the Galaxy, and that was a huge-ass letdown. That was the last Marvel film I was actually excited about. So, comment down below, like, dislike. Have a good one.